Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I am coming back at you with another Wargaming and Miniature video. And in today's video, we're going to continue on with our What's in the Box series. And in today's What's in the Box, we're actually going to be looking in a bag. Berliner Bust by West Wind, Old Glory, distributed through Old Glory, West Wind Productions. Berliner Bust is their 25 millimeter World War II line figures and vehicles. And what I've noticed is they're a little bit larger. They're on the heroic scale, so they're a little bit bulkier and larger on the figure side. And the vehicles compare very well with any of these other bolt action or any other vehicles. So now let's take a look at this M3 Halftrack. The part number is WV, like West Wind Vehicle, US 5, and it's the M3 Halftrack. All right, let's go ahead and open this up, take a look, and see exactly what you get in this bag. All right, so put the placard over here, and we'll empty the parts out onto the table. There we go. Put that back over there. And first of all, this is a resin vehicle. The body and everything is resin, and the rest is metal, so it's metal and resin. There's like storage space on the side, couple of bags, a bedroll or something. Got a jerry can right here, some boxes slid up and jammed into the corner. We got a shovel, a couple of shovels it looks like on the side. Okay, there's a little bit of mold flash right there that needs to be cleaned off. Another jerry can sitting on top of a couple of boxes. You have your tarp laying on the side here. Some more. That looks like camouflage netting rolled up and stuck into the storage compartment on the side. It looks like inside the storage compartment is a bunch of bogey wheels. Those are smaller than these. They look like bogey wheels without the rubber. Yeah, and you get a bunch of them on both sides. Oh, and then directly on the back, you also get, looks like a storage rack here where you could hook a bunch of things onto it, and then hanging in the center, you've got another tarp. Take a look at the inside. Some inside storage. It looks like these are the two gas cans because they've got the little spout. It looks like there's a spot on the left and right for machine guns, maybe? And then you have an actual dashboard, the seats. Now the underside does show like shocks and transmissions and mufflers. The bottom half of the engine, the steering shaft. That's pretty detailed for an underside. Okay, now if you haven't been to any of these What's in the Box videos before, once I take a personal look at what I see here, I'll bring it up and we'll focus in on it and we'll take a close-up look. All right, so we got the two side main tracks, right? And it looks good. Okay. Got the drive wheel and then a large guide wheel. And you'll see you got a couple of pinhole spots, and there's a couple of male tabs here, and I'm sure they go into those pinhole spots to secure okay, there's a little bit of trimming to make sure it'll fit. I believe that should be the drive wheel, the one connected to the transmission. So it should go on like that, actually. Yeah, a little trimming will have to be done to get the tabs to fit inside the holes, or you'll have to drill out the holes a little bit more because they're just there. And then it looks like the bogey wheels on the bottom, the what do they call that? Not the transmission. There's a trunnion? No, it's something else. It looks like it'll attach directly to this main piece right there. So you'll have a 3-point connection. That's good. Okay. Okay, you got your front axle. Looks like it would fit down inside there, fit nice and snug with its leaf spring shocks. And there's the front bumper with winch would go, okay, there's a couple of spots right there that it looks like it would slide directly into. Maybe not, because this seems to be wider than that. Okay, hold on. That fits in there. Okay. And that would fit. Okay. Okay, to the sides of the dock. Okay. There you go. That's gonna work. This is very rare. I don't normally see this. I'm very pleased to see all these details because it shows the motor and the wire connection that goes, because this winch has a motor, and that's kind of like a, what do you call it, like a solenoid, and you don't normally see that, especially on the underside. Okay, and then of course you got your two front wheels with very large openings so that it would fit down inside this center axle, because those are big axles. Okay, take a look at these tires. They look pretty good. Okay, so they give you two options. They give you the big bumper with winch, and then they give you the small bumper with covered winch as an alternative. So depending on which winch style or which bumper style you want to put on there, you can do that. Okay, and then there's the pintle mount O-ring where you would yeah, that would mount directly on the frame, the side wall, and the front wall on the right side, like such. And then there should be one of these support struts that would go from that little pin there up to this spot right there. It looks like a C-clamp area. See if that lines up. Oh yeah. Yep. That little thing to that little thing would be your support bar, and then looks like there's an actual pintle bar if you didn't want to install that, because the M3 came in a variety of different patterns. All right, and not only do you get that center pintle mount, but you get two 30 cal machine guns, and these two 30 cals would be mounted on the sides there for the crew to man and use to fire out the sides. But they also include a 50 cal that would normally be put on this O-ring. You got a bracket right there that hooks to your O-ring, and then the 50 cal to that bracket. You get a couple of seat backs. I didn't even realize there were no seat backs until I saw that. But they would fit right down inside there with the seat back. Okay, I'm not going to pop this out because it looks like it's super thin, but the floorboard in front of the driver's seat, I can see through it. I can see through that. We'll look at that when we zoom in and do a close-up. I would have to look at my M3 Halftracks and see exactly if the 30 cals and the 50 cal were ever put on one vehicle, or if that was an alternative. Because if it's an alternative, then that's what I'll have to do, is I'll mount one or the other. But if they were mounted together, I'm definitely putting some firepower on this thing. Okay, plus there's a steering wheel. The steering wheel has... Okay, that's got to be flash or something up there. Yeah. And that steering wheel, you'll just put it right on in to the driver's wall. It just does not come with any crew or anybody inside. But if you have figures that you want to put in there, you'd go drive on with a heart on. All right, let's take a look. Let's zoom in and see what this looks like up close. All right, so here is the body of the vehicle. Yep, you can see those bogey wheels and storage. You can see that it's a little rough. You just got to go through with a knife and clean it up. But you got your shocks underneath there. You got your shovels, some boxes, jerry can. Tarp, jerry can, more boxes. There's your camo net laid inside there with some more bogey wheels. Some storage racks on the back, and looks like a tarp. Looking on the inside, you can see spots, like I just now noticed, between that seat. You can see that it's really thin, the resin. But once you get paint on it and everything, you wouldn't really see any of that. And plus on the table, you're not going to see any of that. I just don't recommend going through there and poking it out. There's no reason to do that. You get some storage on the inside. And this has got to be gas cans, right? Okay. And then there's the seats, and you can see there's no back. You have to put your back in there. You got to put your back into it. You got your dash. Another gas can, more storage. A little cleaning that has to be done. Wouldn't concern yourself too much with that, because you could paint it up as like clumps of dirt or something like that, because, you know, there's going to be that. Oh, let's look at the bottom of this thing. Okay, look at that. You got your muffler, the transmission, which goes to the gearbox, which goes to the engine, and then you got your drive shaft, or your what do you call it, steering shaft. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. This would be your drivetrain. This is the quality you can expect on the wheels. They look very good. They look very good. All the little lug nuts and everything. Okay. Leaf spring transmission in the front. The mold line right down the center of the axle, but that's okay. You can clean that up. Your O-ring. Got that little mount right there. Mount placement, I should say. Okay. Your winch. Cabling. And then you got your little machine underneath. I'm like digging that. And then this is the alternative version. You got your pintle, you got your bracket holding up your O-ring, and then there's an alternative pintle if you didn't want to do the O-ring. And then there's your two 30 cals with ammo, and they would just pin into the side on their little 30 cal brackets. And you got your seat backs, the 50 cal mount, and then a steering wheel. I don't know what that C is, if it's supposed to be there or just cut it off. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at the inside of an M3. All right, guys, that was the Berlin or Bust M3 Halftrack. What's in the bag? If you're interested in models like this, contact me or go to my eBay store, which is located right here. And if you're interested in maybe a commission to get me to assemble and paint a model for you, you should drop me an email here. And what I'll do is I'll quote you a price and we'll get that ball rolling. All right, guys, thanks for coming out and checking this video out, and I'll catch you in the next one.